That rain sparking flooding concerns across several counties in New Jersey. After January storm, many residents of Paterson and 𝗙𝗢𝗟𝗟𝗓𝗓 are on edge this morning, worried that the water may be creeping up to their doorstep. Let's get right to Eyewitness News reporter 𝗙𝗢𝗟𝗟𝗢𝗪, who's been following this for us live in 𝗙𝗢𝗟𝗟𝗓𝗓 this morning. Are things getting any better at this hour?
Well, Pedro, you said that the water's creeping, and it still is. Looking at the National Weather Service hydrology report, and within the past half hour, it continues to rise. Not significantly, but just enough. Now, the flood stage for the Saddle River, which you can see it's overspilled its banks behind me, is about 5 feet. That's when it starts getting to the action stage. We're now in moderate, so the stage of the flood right now is 7.23 feet. I'm going to step out of the way so you can see exactly the picture that we have. We're along Main Street and Sydney Street in 𝗙𝗢𝗟𝗟𝗓𝗓, Bergen County in New Jersey. Now, this is the intersection, the on-ramp area of Route 46, where you can take east or west into New York or out of New York. So right now traffic is blocked off. You see the cones, and the water is pretty deep. Obviously, cars have luckily not been able to drive through. However, we have seen some vehicles decide to make a left-hand turn, and then as they do, they start kicking up the water, and then their car starts smoking. So a little word of wisdom here: do not drive through the water, because you don't know what's under there. You don't know if there's debris or live wires or whatever. Maybe even a manhole cover came up and moved, and now all of a sudden you're going to get stuck. So that whole motto, turn around, don't drown, does certainly apply here. The Saddle River is to the right of the screen, and that is what's overspilling its banks. So we have a Dunkin' Donuts near us, and they tell us they're staying open for now. But once the water gets halfway through their parking lot, then that's when they likely will shut down. It does look like that water is expected to recede sometime within today. And to put this all in perspective, at 6 o'clock last night, the water was not like this. It was below flood stage, about 3 feet. That's what the Saddle River was at. Since that point, it has risen up to 7.23 feet. Now, obviously, we talked about the January flooding, and we did speak with residents yesterday, actual former residents, because they're not taking any chances with that Saddle River overspilling again. Take a listen.
We have 5 kids in the apartment, and all the time was very difficult, so we had to move.
The whole basement up to the first floor was flooded, and we had to move out afterwards. Everything was turning to mold, and it just wasn't great. I was pregnant at the time, so yeah, it was bad.
Now, they're all talking about the flooding back in January, and in one day, when the Passaic River overspilled its banks, 35 people had to be rescued. Not the situation here, but the situation is somewhat similar, is that we do have these roads flooded. May not be a river, you might not see a steady stream of water, but it looks like a still lake. Eventually, all this water is going to go away, and as Danny says, we're expected another round of showers. What does that mean? Well, the ground right here is already saturated from the entire week up until this point. So again, the water may not have much area to go, and then we also have a round of wind heading our way. But for now, we are cut off to traffic here in 𝗙𝗢𝗟𝗟𝗓𝗓 in Bergen County, New Jersey, because of the standing water in the roadway due to the Saddle River overspilling its banks.